Yeah, Friday. What's up, everybody? Friday morning. Welcome to today's edition. Daily market commentary. Hope you guys are having a great day. We're going to break down our major equity markets this morning after a pretty wild ride yesterday. 100 points down, 100 points up, and was quite a busy day. So let's go ahead and dive in. If you're new to the channel, do me a favor, click the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you get the alerts and the updates and all that fun jazz. But let's go ahead and dive in, starting first with the S&P. So starting with the ES, yesterday when we looked at this market, we had talked about the fact that we saw a really strong move down, and we were looking right around 41. When we were looking at the market yesterday morning, it was right around 41.10, and we were anticipating, hey, there's a chance we could continue to drop, or you could certainly see a rally back up. Now, on a rally back up, we had two levels of supply up above us that were worth considering. There was this lower level here, and then the upper level was really going to be the better one. It was the origin of the move, the drop base, and then a very strong drop. And so what we can see is that price did make it into the first level, a little bit of basing in front of the level, but we did make it into the first level and cut right through it. The second level worked out for a few points, about a 2-to-1 move away. But now we've kind of come back up into that level as of now. Now, if you didn't enter that position, which I mean, it hit that entry at like late afternoon yesterday, I don't blame you a bit. Same thing happened in the NASDAQ as it came right through that level, blew through it actually in the NASDAQ. And so now what am I looking at? Well, my 4-hour trend is still down. My 4-hour trend in the S&P is also still down. We've not changed our major trend direction, and oftentimes some of these drops are going to be characterized with some snapback rallies. But I will say I want to throw my volume up here. And the reason I want to put my volume up is because my volume is going to tell me a little bit of the picture of what happened on the rally. Now, a little bit surprising, the move up that we saw yesterday happened. Here was the early part of the day. Markets volume drops in the later part of the day, and then rallied up towards the end of the day. Now, if you take a look at what we've seen for the past week or so, we have seen the highest volume at the end of the day, right? Highest volume has been at the end of the day, which is not normal. Normally, we see volume that looks more like that U shape. But we've clearly seen higher volume at the end of each day for the last 2 weeks or so, right? Volume spikes at the end of the day. That tells you that there's major movements happening at the close. And while we did see high volume on the end of the day, it was the same as really the beginning of the day. So our volume had more of that traditional U shape. Now, our Globex volume this evening is a little, for what we've seen so far, is pretty close to what it was yesterday in this current hour, but for the pure overnight, it's significantly lower. So what does that look like for today? Well, technically, if I'm staying with my trend, I would be looking for short opportunities. I don't really see a tremendous amount of great supply directly above me in order to go short, um, aside from these areas somewhere up in this region. And I also don't see any super great opportunities to jump in on a long. And so what am I saying? Well, what I'm saying for today is that if you want to take a long on a retest into this little area, I think you've got a good little opportunity there on a long. Very short for a day trade opportunity. Very short in terms of time frame. Um, and then that to me is a pretty decent area. You also have this area down here where we had this big wick up followed by this big wick down. Um, Maybe a bit of an area in here worth considering. So now both of those have to be confirmation entries because both of those are going against our big picture trend direction, which is still down. Okay. Now, if I look at this on the daily chart, we did put in a very strong daily reversal candlestick pattern, similar to what we did back on January the 24th. Let's see if that pattern holds true, and we are higher than yesterday's high. Looking at the NASDAQ, we are just below a clean supply area right up here. There's a pretty decent supply area up above us, but that's kind of far away from current price. This supply area here we've bounced off of once, so you could actually look at this as a potential breakout above 1404, and see if we get a little bit of basing here, a bit of a breakout up until 14.2. So you may have a decent run on there. But as far as overhead supply, there's not a whole lot of great opportunity. Now, taking a look at crude oil right quick. Crude oil came back hard yesterday, screaming back down. Now, I had looked at the origin of the move up, as in this area right here, and we just sliced right through that as crude oil, with the announcement of some of the sanctions and all of that in the afternoon, really came down hard. And so our 4-hour chart looks a bit like this, where our uptrend is still consistent. Buying pressure is seen, even though we came back down. So what I would look for at the moment is, do we get above these swings? If we get above these swings, then I would look for price to continue to trade higher. I'm not really going to be forcing much in here today. I'm going to kind of hold off, I think, on a lot of this, because I want to see price get above this 95.35 swing. Now, in the meantime, until we get to that area, because that area is pretty far away, is there a trade to be had until we get to that area? Well, you could certainly take a breakdown below the Globex low. I don't see a great trap area to worry about. So I'd be okay on a breakdown below the Globex low if you wanted to take the breakdown trade. Um, and then really this is your better supply. It's pretty far away, but that to me is the better of the supply areas. Okay. Gold rallied up hard yesterday, then got another big sell-off. Came down into the breakout trade area, but unfortunately, clearly no basing before the level in this breakout trade. I'm going to leave this as a potential breakout area, though, because if we do get basing here before the level, you may get a decent breakdown trade here in gold. Taking a quick look at Bitcoin and our crypto futures, we had this area down here, which we did not hold this supply zone as we rallied back up yesterday. And so crypto has broken through that one. And Ethereum, we didn't get any basing in front of the level on this one and rallied back up anywho. So in looking at both of these, I don't see a whole lot in Ethereum, although this is a pretty decent demand area right below us here. But Bitcoin, the micro Bitcoin futures were sitting right at the gap fill level. So you could go long up above there with an untouched supply existing right here, 42,000. So that's the levels I have for today. If you guys have any questions, shoot me an email, support@tradersarmy.com. Till tomorrow, buddy, I'll talk to you soon. Be sure you're safe over the weekend. Don't hold things if you're not willing to take the risk and don't know how to hedge them. I'll talk to you soon. See ya. Hey, thanks for joining us. If you like what we do, please make sure you hit that subscribe button. It's the only way the computers know that you're actually alive and really care. And go to tradersarmy.com today to learn a bit more. And if you want to see some of our other videos, click here in the box.